Okay, let's get started. If you don't know me, I'm George Casper. I'm on the community team, and this is my patriot in arms, Clint Byram. I'm tasked with growing cloud.ubuntu.com into like kind of the hip place to be for people to talk about cloud. So I have some ideas on how we can improve this and how we can grow that, and then I'd like to get feedback from people and hopefully commitments for giving me content to. Sure, Nick, sit up front. Yes.
The feedback.
Yeah. So in the Ahmed used to take care of cloud.ubuntu.com, and then he left. So now it's basically been dropped in my lap. So I kind of want this session to be, you know, George was get the feedback from you guys, kind of fix it and get going, and then basically keep going. I know that the site recently has been the busiest it's ever been, and the site is showing a lot of growth, but we'd like that to blow up into something even more. So
You've already got some feedback about the documentation that's being published by the site right now.
Right, so
it's not appropriate.
So here we go. So update documentation links, which are wrong. And have out of date information. Okay, what else?
So that's a very narrow problem statement.
Yeah.
In a wider basis, maybe we should be able to have some level of delegation on who publishes what. I think it would make sense for you not to be alone to update the whole.
Right, so the way it works right now is the site has a WordPress plugin that syndicates basically the server teams and select people's blogs. And then if you put featured, planet, whatever in your blog, it automatically shows up on cloud.ubuntu.com. But I did notice that some of the posts, the one I had to fix for you, instead of being syndicated, it was just copied and pasted, which I think is a bad idea. So I'm going to go through and reduce duplication because that should be syndicated, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really do it because you're publishing the content against the author who didn't write it, so which happened in that case.
Right, right.
So that's not good practice, basically.
I have run
Okay, so from now on, only syndication, no.
The syndication tags need to be clear and unified or something, because I'm not the only one who's run into this where I posted something on my blog thinking that I got it covered with Ubuntu, Ubuntu Cloud.
Featured was the magic word,
and I didn't know.
That didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, featured was like what?
Initially.
Yeah,
okay, so maybe
it's not described even.
What's that?
How syndication
Right.
works. It's not
Rename
described.
featured tag to what? What do we want to call it? Cloud.ubuntu.com?
Documented.
Cloud?
Like anything I post on my blog that says that is tagged cloud probably should be on Ubuntu Cloud.
Gets
Right.
auto posted on cloud.ubuntu.com.
And that's probably the lowest common denominator amongst all the blogs that we want to be syndicated.
Yeah, more or less.
Right.
Or,
Yeah, that covers everything.
Or the person tells you what their tag is. I'm sure you've got this in a configuration file under Bazaar control, I hope.
It's a WordPress in a config
Yeah, it's in Bazaar.
database.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. Cloud's fine. Feature's fine. Feature was fine once I figured out that was
Yeah,
the
we
magic
know.
word.
But
I'm thinking if we all had the same one.
would it make sense to start adding some taxonomy? Because
Have some what?
Taxonomy.
So if I am a user coming interested in knowing what's latest and greatest about cloud images, I may not care as much about what's going on
Can
in
you
the
open
stack.
cloud in a separate tab so we can
Yeah.
see like what the tags look like? I think I really want to delete that tag cloud. It doesn't look very useful to me. But whatever.
In the Etherpad? Oh, over here.
Yeah,
right.
over here, like Ubuntu, Ubuntu Planet, Ubuntu Cloud, Ubuntu Server, Planet, Planet Ubuntu.
Yep, featured.
So what I'm thinking about is, you know how a newspaper has a front page where you have a little bit about everything, and then if you go to page 4, you only get sports, and if you go to page 5, you only get international news. If we could get something where you get the front page where you've got a little bit of everything, and then if you're only interested in cloud images, this cloud guest, you go to the cloud guest.
So categorize the content
Yeah, we have tags, we don't have categories here. That's really what it is.
Yeah, more like a newspaper.
Yeah,
So people can go deep.
But you
if
can
they
use
want.
the tags already as categories, right? So if you click on one of those tags, doesn't it jump to just?
Yeah, but it's not agreed who uses.
Yeah, that's crap. Okay,
It's
so-
open-ended instead of, okay.
But
So
George,
let's do this. I'll
George-
take this action. George, publish taxonomy guidelines that everyone will follow.
Of course.
I'm just going to
Example.
JFDI it, so I'm going to get rid of like Ubuntu server, one word, or whatever it ends up being.
Yeah.
I'll put some thought into that.
I think
Okay, easy enough.
But you can filter still on the cloud tag on the right? I mean, if you click OpenStack over there, Clint, is it going to give you the latest featured
give
thing
you the
that is
latest.
OpenStack related?
Yeah, which was
Okay.
that's my post.
Okay.
Yeah, but if somebody didn't
Yep.
do OpenStack as a tag,
Yeah. It wouldn't show up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It'll basically be just me saying, here's how we're going to categorize stuff, and then spot checking if
That's
something's
the
wrong.
goal
we
of a
fix it.
taxonomy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then we might want...
And when you say categorize, can you be a member of multiple categories?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so,
if you're EC2 Juju,
Typically,
OpenStack Juju.
because that
Categories
that's
are
really
less
closely back
freeform.
to tags, yeah.
tags are freeform. Like you want something that you
You
never
put it
thought
in-
of to appear in a tag cloud. But categories, like, they're the things you want to talk about on cloud.ubuntu.com.
Okay.
Right.
Only those things, so that it reduces, because that is a mess actually.
Mhm.
It's cool, and you know, somebody might click through it, it helps with SEO, but the reality is that you want like the categories of the things that you absolutely
Yeah, so that would be AWS, or instead of EC2. I don't know. I'll figure
you know, I
something
think we
out.
might want to loop back around in this discussion and think about category ideas, but
Okay,
we can
all right.
move on for now, right?
Ideas. Okay.
There is static content on this site which is not coming from syndication, like documentation, like
There certainly should be, and it should be pretty obvious and easy to find.
it is actually.
Yeah.
You already click on documentation.
Yeah. So one of the actions I took is to fix this. This is like a little...
This is crap and points to the wrong place.
Yeah.
I'm not sure George is the
Tired
right
just
person
looking
to
at
be
it.
maintaining that. I wonder if we shouldn't have a delegation to, for example, if we're talking about cloud guest images, that should maybe be Ben and Scott maintaining this section.
All right.
Yeah, I actually think that that's probably a good idea, just because I mean, I'm playing with these images on a daily basis, so
So I can go like, what's your launchpad name? Just Van Howard?
UT Lemming,
What?
Lemmings,
UTL,
UT before.
EMM, ING.
as in Utah Lemming without the R.
UTL.
EMM, ING.
UT Lemming.
Okay. So I'll give you an action. Update documentation links which are wrong and have out-of-date information.
Sure.
And I'll take an action to give Ben access.
But this can be repeated
Who else wants
for.
an action?
This can be repeated for.
Yeah, let's go through those.
Cloud infrastructure.
Let's do it. So
we
give
have a
them-
maintainer of cloud infrastructure. These guys would be empowered to point to what they consider is the latest and greatest documentation for cloud infrastructure.
This UEC book. Boy, that one sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
okay. All right. So
That's the one
what
I sent
section
an email
you
3
would
months
you would be
ago.
doing? Wait. Let's back up. Back up a second.
So I do the, there's,
So I think what
the
you want to
images.
do is categorize there 3 things.
Okay.
Juju, cloud infrastructure, cloud guest.
Okay.
Identify owners for Juju.
Okay.
Cloud
Don't talk so
infrastructure,
fast.
cloud
Hold on.
guest.
Hold on. Let's just do it now. So we should have Juju sections. Juju. Cloud guest.
And cloud infrastructure, which
and
is,
cloud infrastructure.
and this section will grow as we grow our offering.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
There is a whole session on cleaning up Julia's documentation, so we can
Yeah.
refer any
Yeah. I've already talked to
items
Kapil about that. Yeah.
It should be the owner of the section should be the guy that cares the most in
Okay.
the company about
So
this.
Juju is going to be George and Kapil. Cloud guest, is that you?
yeah.
And Scott.
Podcast, myself and Scott Monster.
Smozer.
Smozer, yep. Cloud infrastructure would be,
Me, I can volunteer, but that could be anyone in Davy's team that cares about the cloud infrastructure.
are you cloud infrastructure guy or is that somebody else? Okay, so I'll put Nick Barce and $ server.
I think Davey.
I think Scott might be a good choice for that one.
Actually, since I take care of Ubuntu Cloud in general,
Yeah.
you can
Put
use
you
my
for all
as a
three,
potential
or
for
all
all
two.
three.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind.
I'll just give you access and let you rock out with your bad stuff. That would be excellent. Okay, so today or so, I'll make sure I get the WordPress. I just have to add you to the thing, and then single sign-on's all.
Okay.
I'll look it.
Cloud.net EC2 Starters Guide facts. Those don't seem to fit. Like, these are very cultivated platforms that we produce in Ubuntu.
Right.
Cloud.net is kind of a thing, a piece of the guests.
Yeah, what do we even have cloud in there?
So if we have a section for Cloud Guest, then it makes sense to organize it.
These all three, I think, actually belong under guest.
Yeah.
Essentially, they're all part of the guest experience. Cloud.net, EC2 Starters Guide. The fact, I haven't looked at it, but
Click on it.
Yeah, it's Cloud Guest. The fact is something I wrote a year,
Yeah, so this is
2
all-
or 3 years ago.
this all can go in nice sections underneath the guest.
We constantly have facts getting out of date. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with building fact sections, build them once and then just ignore them again.
Yeah.
I'm going to write for about a month, but
Yeah, they're frequent.
They were frequent then.
Last year.
yeah.
Well, we can, for
So why
specific
keep
ones,
building?
for
You know, but-
specific ones like Juju, I mean, those will just be auto-generated by user account.
Is there any way to have some sort of like feedback button where, you know, people could actually flag it and say, hey, this stuff is really bad, and then one of us who's maintaining it gets an email to
Sure.
take a look at it?
Actually, at the bottom that says problems with the cloud portal, file a bug. That's how people do it. Perhaps I can reword that to make more sense, right?
Or
Yeah,
even,
yeah.
Problems with this page, or something instead of, because that's really
Is it, you know, is the information not current? You know, some ways
Yeah.
that a user of the page realizes that
Does this page
problems,
need an update?
I
Yeah,
can interpret
yeah.
problems as like you got a 404 or something.
to make it easier for users.
Why don't you
So-
integrate Ask Ubuntu into it, brother?
Oh, I'll get it.
Yeah.
Let's not take action
We
items
all
on
knew
that.
he was going to do it. We weren't just
Yeah.
going to see it.
It's like asking me if I'm going to breathe today. To make it easier for users. So, what was your text suggestion?
Does this page need an update?
Does this page
File bug.
need an
Because I like to file a bug.
Yeah. So I'll tweak that a little bit. That's an easy fix. I can do that. Anything else?
so there is no, I couldn't find any information on how to get someone syndicated. Sometimes
How to
I
do
need
what?
someone else
To
syndicated.
add a feed.
So
Oh,
first-
you got to. Right now, it's talk to George.
Yeah, but this should be, if it's talk to George,
Yeah.
there should be a section that says, if you want to be part of this blog posting, please send an email to George.
Okay.
Because right now,
Make it clear how people.
I meet
can
people that are
submit.
very interesting, that do amazing stuff,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to voice them.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we could do something that fits in with the rest of our memberships. So either using Launchpad or like Planet Ubuntu does, where there's a BZR branch
yeah.
that certain people have right access
Right. I'll
to.
figure because I certainly want
So do you want to be
We
in the
certainly
cloud
want-
community?
for appropriate things we want. Like
Well, I mean,
open stack
for your
developers to
syndication.
No, but
be syndicated.
what you're saying,
Yeah.
AWS, that Krish guy when he's talking about Ubuntu.
There are, well, and that's like syndication, right? Some of them will be automatic, some will be, ooh,
Yeah.
I'm going to
And
syndicate that, I'll take integration.
Some I will actively pursue,
Yeah.
right? I will be like, hey, upstream Seth for Gluster or something, you want to do a blog post, guest blog post on integrating whatever it is, and then getting
That's
the
why
content
I
on
do
that.
actually think talk to George is a pretty good answer because like going to need to develop a syndication relationship before we start putting every post that do tagged cloud on our cloud.
Yeah, we're not, yeah. 'Cause
We need
I definitely want to curate the content.
Yeah.
Keeping the content quality up, I think, should be a no-brainer.
so I think there's 2 different pages. There's the planet-like
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah, scroll up.
which is everybody and everyone that put the right tag.
Right.
And there's a featured content that is on the front page, which is hand-picked content, if I'm correct.
No, unless they tag it with featured, and then it gets...
Okay, so it's tagged with featured.
I don't like scroll the way down. Like, here's what I think the major problem is like if something's not on the front page, it's not impossible
Is
to
it
find.
not respecting the more tag or are people not using it?
I don't know, like scroll all the way
I
down.
think that's a very long post.
Yeah, scroll, just hit end, I mean. Right, there's no like older or,
Jerry?
like when this,
My head is,
when someone posts that, this Cloud Live thing goes in an archive somewhere and it's like,
Oh,
you can't access it.
it goes away?
Yeah, like
That's
how would
pretty
you?
recent.
No, go find something.
Just, yeah. go
Find something
you don't
from
know
a
about.
year ago, yeah.
I can.
Well, go to the topics. See what I mean?
Yeah, no, this is not really a blog. It's like,
Yeah, so, okay, another action for me.
Archiving.
And searching.
well, how would I even know to
Cheap to
go and
have a
find
little
that?
Google box.
It's up there. Search Ubuntu Cloud.
No, because he said I would reorganize it more like a newspaper, right? So it would be like, here's all our past content on ECT. And then people would just go, oh, cool. Boom, 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 boom. Instead of it just being missing. So archiving sucks and buries old content. Fix that.
I think
Okay.
there's a very nice voting module in WordPress. You could
Okay.
activate it.
To push articles up.
Well, at least for someone to be able to say, I want to see what's...
George, I think we just need links because this.
Yeah,
this
I know
stuff is
it's in
older.
there.
Okay.
I know it's in there. It's just crap. But
Okay.
I can fix that. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's old stuff.
Investigating voting module to get good content up. Okay. What else? So-
I kind of like to see just less stuff on the front page. I just tried loading it on my phone and it took forever.
Okay.
If we could have a smaller front page. with
that's
quick
what I was saying,
links.
the more tag.
Is
Like,
that a mobile specified?
Mobile. So basically, mobile experience sucks.
I think even a non-mobile experience, this is.
If I'm looking for documentation or images, I don't want to see all the cloud, all the planet content on my first hit. I'd rather.
Like, I'm pretty careful when I make a blog post to
Well,
not put any
mobile
images,
phones
maybe one
nowadays,
image
I think,
before the more
mobile
tag.
specific
Yeah.
Because for this exact reason, like my blog and the RSS feed for it needs
Yeah.
to be tight.
Okay.
You know, it needs
So
to
I can
be
just curate that better.
it's-
Now that I'm in charge,
maybe that's
I'll
what
see
it
them all
is.
coming in. I'll be like, whoa, you
Because
suck.
once it's syndicated, you can still
Yeah.
edit it. So
Okay. One thing, can you click on the actual, does that click
like
on
a
there?
post?
Yeah, just click on one of them.
Yeah.
Scroll down. Oh, so we do have a like button. We need a tweet.
Facebook.
Where's the +1?
Yeah, plus
Yeah.
one.
So George,
Socialize.
investigate socialization
Socialism.
Socialism.
of each article.
And we need Magnolia.
Needs +1. Needs
Put the share
Twitter
this.
I don't think
or whatever.
Tweet this.
I'll just find a library that like has all the buttons.
Yeah, when you
Whatever
find that, let me know because I
social
want that one on
share
the
this.
blog.
I have one for Drupal.
No, there's a site. Share this.
I need
Got 'em
one
all.
from.
Yeah, shit.
It's
Lad.
actually too many.
No, I'll keep it classy. I won't have
I
like
think
dig on it.
At this point, it's Twitter, Facebook, and Google+.
So is automatic retweeting of article into Twitter or Identica still active?
That's
Which
already
is something that I've
Yeah,
activated.
It's not
I don't know if it's still active. It is?
Okay.
So Clint says.
Okay.
Now that we're giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, like 15 work items, I want to get something out of you guys as well. So, who here, by show of hands, is committed to writing at least one article for content for cloud.ubuntu.com?
A blog post or content?
Just content.
What do
So,
you mean article, yeah?
right. So, like you already do it. So basically,
Your
just
blog post though.
yeah. Basically,
I don't mind keeping doing that. That's part of national.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, me and the server team can't do all the blog content like by ourselves.
So you can add me to that list. I'll start
Okay.
doing it.
What's your launch ID?
It's Launchpad ID is Med, I think.
Yep.
Used to be Medberry, but it's Med now.
I can commit to doing it.
Ooh. Okay. 1 second.
Any French paper here? It's
Yeah.
a big joke.
Word.
Maybe.
Commit to submitting content to cloud. Who else raised their hand?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And the commit the commit I actually made was for submitting an article. I will do more than that, but I'll submit.
yeah. Like I mean,
regularly is
certain people want
Yeah.
there to be like 2 posts a day and that kind of stuff. I don't know how we'll be able to sustain that, but it's going to be a lot of work. So I'm trying to get as much help.
Sure.
So,
So if I can, yeah, a guaranteed one, anyone's their bonus, absolutely.
there's a problem that's I've found actually that a lot of our developers, engineers, publish a blog post and consider that the documentation has been written.
Right.
Okay. A blog post is great to announce. It's not documentation. The content of the blog post can become documentation, but how can we
That's
help
called,
doing that?
that's just a work item for me,
So,
George.
so the
Ensure blog
question is
content.
Conversion of blog content to documentation is really, kind of what you're getting at.
Yep.
Yeah, because when
That's just something when there's a new blog post, because I envision I'll be at the site multiple times a day. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, Clint, you just blogged about this. What's the state of the documentation? And then if he goes, then we know what we need to do at that point.
Well,
Right.
and maybe that's one of the things that we need to do, because I think as the, the guy producing this stuff, it's really easy for me to get into the mindset of, oh, this isn't worthy of documentation. It's hard for us to really kind of see what is documentation worthy. And so
Right.
maybe having you sitting there kind of going, hey, Ben, document that. And,
Yeah, okay.
Could actually really help improve the
and
situation.
for me, documentations means at least you update a wiki page on help.ubuntu.com, or you create one and you link it to a wider set.
That's easy. I'll just make that part of like the syndication policy and all that. Like when I do all the tags, I'll do that. So here are the guidelines for submitting your content to cloud.ubuntu.com. Right? These are the tags you're going to use. If you start blogging something, make sure the documentation is there. So when a user clicks on the whatever link and it's like an empty page on the wiki, then you might want
Document
to.
first, blog second. The issue with that I've had in the past is that, as you said, you want to announce it before you have the documentation. like how
Or
cool
maybe
this is.
But it's not cool until it's documented.
Yeah, and it's a discipline change. Really.
Yeah. Click, you need discipline.
Yeah.
But again, if you feel like just doing your blog post, I'd much rather you send me an email saying, I only do the blog post because I have too much to do. Please find someone else to do it, to do the documentation for me from the blog post. I'd rather have a process like this where I can offload from you if you don't want to do the documentation than not have the documentation.
Yeah. No, I was saying we should.
Yeah, just,
So
the,
basically
just the
what it's-
guidelines there would help.
Basically
Blog posts
writing
are great
blog posts
for,
would be like Nick.
for announcements,
Yeah.
but not for permanent documentation.
Yeah, and like when I started playing with Juju, that was one of the frustrations, was the documentation was just so thin.
Yeah, we actually have a separate session on fixing that because we talked about that last week. It's
Yeah.
in a sorry state of.
Rule, don't scare the user in the first page of the documentation. And
They're already scared. They're already scared. We call it Juju. They're already scared.
Have you seen the first page of the documentation?
Yeah. Where is it?
You click on documentation, Juju, and
Oh, yes, good.
this is, I love it.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Juju is still in stage. Okay,
Ready
maybe I
for
shouldn't
prime
use it.
No, we have a whole session on fixing this. This is a no problem. This will be fixed like this week.
It's also blue.
It's also blue instead of orange.
Doesn't look like the Ubuntu font.
No, but that's
That is
just
clearly not
that's just a
policy.
template. That's auto-generated. It's-
Yeah, that's out of. We have a whole session on fixing this. So, but I've got commitment out of Capeel to fix that. So, what else? Any ideas on how we can get more eyeballs on this bad boy?
You start collecting
You need to buy advertisements, I'm sure.
So, let me just say, everyone, on a regular basis, you're like syndicating, plus oneing, posting it to your Twitter feed, just basically being a social whore, I guess is the word.
Mm.
You're,
I mean, we can
5 tweets that it makes I retweet.
yeah, there you go.
It's a whole 60 followers.
Tweeting, reposting, liking, and all of that social.
So I think Ubuntu Cloud is already reaching the 3,000 now.
Reaching what?
3,000 followers,
Oh, the Twitter feed?
something like that.
Can we get a better logo,
3,600.
dude?
Yeah, it's 3,600. Sorry, I've lost the count.
Can we get a better logo than that? I mean, that just makes it look like someone took an out of focus
Design
picture.
team sent me that 2 years ago, and I say, hey, I need a logo for Cloud. Maybe we could update that.
Yeah. So I'll give you an action, Nick.
Like a burn-in with GIMP over a cloud image.
Investigate new Twitter logo.
Yeah, geez, we need another logo.
By the way, if people want to be able to tweet to that, we can.
Okay, so
establish
who has access to this?
me and Ahmed.
I would love access. I actually got pinged last week by Amazon
Okay.
about a question that I guess an Amazon user was blaming Amazon, and so I had to go and create a Twitter account and
Yeah.
to answer the question. But it was
So people to add to the
Okay,
Twitter account.
So in that case, there's two possibilities. One thing that I had done in the past that nobody ever used, so I dropped it, was that I had a set of rules on a tool that would say this: if these guys use the word this, then retweet. That wasn't being used. So right now, what we had with Ahmed, we were sharing a password. I don't say
Right.
sharing a password works in general. Would the rule engine be better? So if I say, you give me a Twitter ID that you use,
I think giving access to this account to the server team, we could just opportunistically do it.
to the account itself, or
Yeah, so we can post as Ubuntu Cloud, right?
so in that case, I would give access to an interface, because sharing a password among more than two people, it becomes
Yeah, that's fine.
a nightmare.
Whatever way is
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I think just enabling access is
Yeah. What's your Twitter account?
YouTube Money.
Of course.
It's
So you're saying
moniker no one uses.
enabling mentions, so he can mention Ubuntu Cloud, or are you saying
No.
you're going to let him log in as Ubuntu Cloud?
What I can do very easily, which I'd already done before, is have a rules engine that says if post comes from UT Lemmings and contains the hashtag cloud,
Yeah.
then
Retweet
repost
it.
as yourself.
That's fine.
So it's not retweeted, it's actually posted as yourself.
Yeah.
There's a
Right.
difference. Okay. I would almost, I mean, one of the things that we've talked about is being more personal. It seems like Ubuntu Cloud retweeting Ben is a lot better than Ubuntu Cloud tweeting.
We can do that as well.
Right.
It's
So
It's-
I would focus on, like right now, like it retweeted Linux Foundation. That's a more social
Yeah.
thing to do than to just post a link on Linux Foundation.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of a bot and it's obvious, just a branding thing and something
Right.
to
But
grab followers, right?
I want personal stuff on here too, right? If you're looking on Twitter and prominent cloud guys like, what's this Juju thing? I want to be able to respond with this account.
I would say though, you wouldn't respond
I would.
at Ubuntu Cloud, so you mention it and it can retweet it. And
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying, we're people and
Sure. Okay.
this is maybe a philosophy and I
So
don't want to get
for
too deep
you-
on it, but essentially, like,
I will do.
we're all
so if
people
you-
they'll run into at conferences,
So-
they won't run into Ubuntu Cloud at conferences.
So
Okay.
the rule would be, if it is from a list of trusted people and Ubuntu Cloud is mentioned, then retweet. Okay.
Mention or a hashtag. So-
Mhm.
But
Okay.
yeah, I like the retweeting idea
so,
just for the person.
We'll work together on that.
Yeah.
So I want. My
I've
rule is
got
to
experiment
have
either
two
way.
people.
Don't
who
worry, I've got
cannot
your
use
action
it.
down. I got your action.
Yeah.
Two people to share the password, so that if one leaves, the other.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I think that actually is a better idea. We retain control. Our Twitter accounts.
Mhm.
You retain control of that. It's just
Yeah.
an agreement that we know what we can do to get it to retweet things.
Right.
That's awesome.
That works
So
fine.
that means that we need to document it internally. All these rules, taxonomy, blah blah blah.
Yeah. That's why we have work out of it.
Actually,
I got you down, baby.
This could be public. I wouldn't mind if we have someone we trust, like Eric Alman. That
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of the idea. is that
Absolutely.
These are the people in the Ubuntu Cloud community, and the bot is just something that's sitting between them.
Because we want his
people follow
content.
it.
His content goes on cloudubuntu.com. Right?
Like they'll end up following Eric, and that's okay. That we want them to also follow
Brings
Ubuntu
us
Cloud
up.
because they'll find the next Eric.
Right.
what I started doing at the very beginning was I would retweet based on rules, but not names, and I got spammed really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People using Ubuntu Cloud to say, hey, I have a great toys for this or
So
tools
what
for
you
that.
got? Yeah, how we have to tie it.
Juju Viagra? Yes. Okay, so Holy, can you switch back to the wow. So I'm basically
Launchpad ID is
Yeah,
new
you're
Java, by the way.
oh, that's right, that's right.
If you want
You want to go back to the portal?
Okay, so you guys have been, man, I'm basically screwed.
you call for the session, guy.
Well, I mean, it's my that's what I'm here to do, man. Any other ideas about bringing more eyeballs? I know Ahmed had talked in the past about the possibility of some AdWords.
Yeah,
Do I have money? Do I get a budget?
no, you don't get any money. And we could bootstrap a lot more. Sorry, it's a long answer to that question. I mean,
Sure.
Somebody having discussed today talked about how we sort of optimize it as a blog page, effectively. What I'm kind of wondering is that the primary use case, how you see cloud.ubuntu.com as a blog aggregator with some additional content?
So I don't know what Jane and
Go to ubuntu.com,
right.
front page. So for 2 weeks we're doing a cloud takeover in the front page of ubuntu.com. It's going to drive a lot of traffic to it. If you go through there, you go through some of the ubuntu.com cloud pages.
Okay.
What I would like to do, because we're reasonably limited in the level of dynamic content that we can put on the main site.
Right.
But we need somewhere to go that shows that we're thinking today and every day about what cloud is. What cloud is.
I definitely want to steal some of this stuff. For
So that's where I think cloud.ubuntu.com can fit in. So I'd love to integrate it much more tightly into the pages.
Absolutely.
But I think we need to, can't solve it now, 10 minutes left, but I think we need to think more rigorously about what that site does, what it's for. Is it for documentation? Is it for discussion? Can we characterize that correctly? Which piece is which? Is it clear to someone coming to that website that it's a community website? The language doesn't look very... it's quasi-corporate and quasi-community, and it's confusing, I think, for the user. I think we need to...
Yeah, we are not using the correct coding.
Yeah, we're not really correct. The semantics and the semiotics of it are a bit weird.
Yeah.
It's saying stuff like engage,
actually, it's got a good mix, the two,
Yeah.
community and corporate. And if you ask me what do I think it should be, it's the spot where you go to look for new stuff about Ubuntu on the cloud.
Yeah.
Like, you don't go to ubuntu.com, right? You're wondering.
I think we should be. We should be like, this is the site where we're
directly.
pushing the envelope, showing you.
Right. So I don't think we signpost that well enough. I mean, you might know that, but I don't think if I visit that page that's clearly what.
Right. Well, once I get rid of some of this, once I make this a lot better and categorize it.
It's such a memorable name. I'll remember that's how I get to the docs. So it's a fantastic way for that, but it's also got this little blog content at the bottom. I think it's actually laid out pretty well for exactly that. A little extra discovery
it says
with
Ubuntu,
utilities.
Ubuntu Cloud Feature Content, what does that mean?
Well,
Content below or is it above? It's a blog post. Not feature.
That shouldn't.
If we're going to start talking about usability, the fact that we have a menu at the top and a menu at the middle is already very confusing.
Yeah.
My eye is going to read one.
So are any resources available to me to help me?
Yeah, completely. I mean, you need to talk to John Oxton this week. We are keen to schedule, if you guys are familiar with developer.ubuntu.com, right?
Yeah, that's exactly.
So
I
we
want
went through a
that.
fairly rigorous process there in order to get that, sort of soup to nuts job and sort of making sure that it was properly tested.
Okay, so is he resourced to do the cloud portal this cycle to make it?
This cycle, yes. So in
this
6
cycle,
months, yeah. So
start early.
I'm going to go find him right
2 months
now.
Before release, you won't have any resources.
it's not necessarily John. It's
John Oxon's team.
Talk to John today, but it's the web team, our resource to help us. We want to do it.
When I look at this one,
doesn't mean you shouldn't do all these things in the interim because it'll take a while.
Oh no, I'm definitely going to fix what I can because it's crap.
when I look at developer, it's a very simple, clear picture.
Yeah.
This one looks a little cobbled together.
That's
no pun intended. Cobbled. Thank you. But no, like that. Yeah, I can see where it needs to be a little more cohesive. I mean, I've been here before, but just the immediate comparison.
Okay,
It's
so
like
yeah, in general, we can
1,
expect.
2, 3, 4. I mean, how much simpler could you get?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, they serve slightly different purposes, but not really. Right?
They
Get
are slightly different, but
developers
they won't be exactly the same. I'm not saying we
Yeah.
just slap that
Yeah.
template on it, but,
No,
the
but-
process is the same. You know,
Yeah.
what are
Random-
we reading for?
See that.
How do we organize it?
Random question about getting more eyeballs to the site. Does the message of the day in our cloud instances
Nope.
do anything useful?
There was a great project that Davey and I started like 2-3 years ago about having
Random messages,
random,
fortunes.
not so random, but
A set of.
a set of. The project is ready to go. We just need to edit the string and someone to vet it to go into main,
So
because
click.
it should be on the
What are
CD.
they gonna say?
What do they look like?
So we had messages that were,
One
if
to
you want to
two
do
lines.
this,
Yeah, just 1 or 2 lines, just the URL.
if you want to,
Okay.
do you know you can do this? Go see there.
Yeah.
Do you want to do this? Investigate there.
Because I think if you
It
get
actually,
Amazon Cloud
yeah,
from
so-
us and you run
Tell
it.
you get something, or is it static?
we do have a link to a very verbose www.ubuntu.com/business/services/cloud.
That should.
Cloud.ubuntu.com would be nice.
Right.
You gotta shorten that.
Yeah, cloud.ubuntu.com.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So, can I get someone on the server
hold on,
team to
hold on,
commit
hold on,
to
hold on.
updating that link?
This
Where's
link
that link
is
now?
this link
Looks
because
like MOT.
we wanted
Wait, one at a time.
this link to be pointing people to also landscape information. Cloud.ubuntu.com.
Yeah, we have it.
We have landscape. We have graph and manage this data at landscape.canonical.com. Get cloud support with Ubuntu Advantage Cloud Guest at the long URL I just rattled off. Getting support should be prominent on cloud.ubuntu.com, but that URL should be more memorable than
I understand, but
what we have here.
if we put the cloud.ubuntu.com, then we need to have commercial content in there.
Yeah.
He did.
No, I was gonna say that I,
You wanna do it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
I
cool.
own the images.
I just felt bad I hadn't, but I don't really feel that bad.
So in thinking about
Yes,
that,
it's fine
I'm
stuff.
wondering if maybe what we need on Ubuntu, or cloud.ubuntu.com is a prominent links section where we can put all the things that we want. And so say like if you, for support offerings or whatever, go to cloud.ubuntu.com /AMI or, some easy URL.
So a URL shortener, basically.
Yeah, some way so that all this stuff is because we're going to start.
So
I don't
you
want
just
that-
use the alias module in WordPress, and you should be able to do
What
that.
module?
Alias,
Alias.
Oh,
Alias,
alias
sorry.
module.
Yeah,
French.
That's
Alias.
fine.
yeah. So because my fear is that as we start putting too much stuff into the MOTD, it's going to become less useful for people.
Yeah.
And if we can just say,
Yeah, respect it.
shorten everything to say for our support offerings and whatever information, latest greatest. If you want to learn how to use Juju, go to this link and just train our customers to go there first. We can have a much more meaningful message of the day.
Okay.
15 more minutes.
I'm kind of full on my items, so
Just keep talking, man. We got more for you.
don't worry, I'll just start randomly.
Oh,
doing-
well, do you want to take that last one, Georgia?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Add a prominent link section for things like alias modules, so we don't oververb up the MOTD. What else? Any other ideas on eyeballs?
Yes, Wikipedia. I don't think we're spending enough time to describe our lingo on Wikipedia.
Like,
Like, I created the Juju page.
You did create it. Oh, we were wondering who did that.
If you look at the discussion page, my first version was not very well accepted. I had to.
It never
rework-
is.
I had to
My
rework it
experience.
quite a few times, but I think it is an important work that any.
No doubt. The SEO on that is so high. I mean, you're gonna it rises to the top very quickly as clicks happen to it. I mean, when did you write the page?
Issues.
When did you write the page, Nick?
2 months ago.
Okay, go to Google, George. Just Google for Juju. And link number 3 is...
Link number 2
is Wikipedia. Oh, you might put that over there so other people can see. Oh wait, you're not running that.
Yeah.
That's Clint. Sorry.
Clint, open
I guess I was asking Clint.
Open up porn mode, Control-Alt-P. Well, that way it doesn't taint the results.
I don't think it... Just another tab. Open another tab and Google for Juju.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 2.
The second link is Juju, which already bumped it
But
above
that's not the page.
Juju.ubuntu.com.
No,
That's, you gotta go to disambiguous.
Yeah, you're still 2 away.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry.
We're close. We're getting there.
Yeah, but for
So do Juju.
Sorry.
Do Juju Ubuntu and you'll get.
Yeah. Actually, if you do Juju Ubuntu, you get cloud.ubuntu.com first. Yeah.
Yep. That's the first link. Which
I
is
think
good
that the work is important. If we are introducing
What do you think the first is Juju show?
new names, we should always think about defining them in Wikipedia.
Do a search on how do I use Juju.
This article about Juju has to have been
It's got
vandalized
those.
or it's some kind of joke.
This is really saying objectively it's incomprehensible.
So the first version was a cut and paste of the content of the first page of the juju.ubuntu.com.
Yeah.
So I had to reword it completely.
Wait, did they accuse you of plagiarizing like ourselves? Sweet! Wait, go back. I want to keep talking. I will, hold on. Yeah. That is awesome.
incomprehensible. Well done, Nick.
Yeah.
Well,
You should be like that.
well done to whomever wrote the juju.ubuntu.com. Sorry, I did the cut and paste.
Right. The irony would be if Mark Mims had already done his work with Wikimedia Foundation to get Wikipedia deployed using Juju. And
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist except for underneath the software.
Right.
You
So you're getting an
typed in,
item.
it doesn't exist.
You're going to be our Wikipedia curator for Juju.
What?
Well, I will say that they'll, if we are only ever the ones who curate it, it will be deleted. Like,
No, I already have a community guy that can.
so we,
I
yeah.
got this. He's
Like,
writing
I've had this happen
He's already
before.
writing charms this week.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, we gotta talk about that. Is there anybody else that wants any action items that isn't purple? Dudes.
What's job security do?
Oh, you can put me where you have John.
Well,
Lawson's name.
there's one that's kind of like
There
a
was-
plum.
Oh, okay.
Green. Much better.
You're just Jerry on Launchpad, right?
Yeah.
Oh, everything switched to yellow.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, the purple is
As
too.
long as, I mean, in general, if it remains a useful tool,
Mhm.
people,
people
will
will
come
come.
back and links will be made
Build
to
it.
it.
They will come.
Yeah. That's where I think.
Okay, so I will find John Oxon as soon as I can and give him a hug and.
Do you know him? Do I need to-
Oh yeah, I already met him. Yeah.
T-shirts too.
We have T-shirts here if you want an ensemble T-shirt.
I'm with cloud.ubuntu.com t-shirt.
Can I get T-shirts?
No.
I'm just asking. Can I get stickers?
I'm gonna do it like this. Give me T-shirts.
Jerry, I need T-shirts.
No, you have to
Actually, don't worry, there's a process.
Pseudo Jerry, I need T-shirts.
There's a process for that, you just need a budget.
Wait, Robbie has budget. Okay.
Yeah, Robbie W. Get a T-shirt.
Ask about T-shirts. No, I'm not talking about for us. I'm talking like when we go to all these cloud events and stuff.
But I'm saying when we go to a cloud camp, if we've got 10
Oh,
T-shirts to hand out, that'll be.
I was talking to.
We need a
to
plane that will
major
write
vendor,
things
and they want
cloud.ubuntu.com in the sky and
Major vendor wants swag. Well, let him pay for it.
Well, this is their,
They want it that
this is
badly.
their support guy, so it would actually probably.
Yeah. Funny enough, I don't even know how to go about doing it. It's weird.
Okay, that's enough. What do you guys say we break early?
Yep.
We're so efficient.
So, Clinton,
Everyone just kind of.